Good afternoon, folks. Here I am back again with a little different subject today. A little bit by biblical subject, but mainly actually what we have now is today's the 17th of December, and at this moment in Copenhagen there is a environmental conference going on. And I like to say, make a statement about that. There's a lot of being debated about the CO2 problem in this world. Okay, there are environmental problems, fishing, tree cutting, pollution by some heavy metals and other kind of polluting stuff and so on, which endanger the environment. I agree. But CO2, is that a real problem? They say, well, the climate is changing because of CO2 problem in the air, and okay, we are burning up the fuels that we have, the coals and the gasolines and the petrols and the kerosenes and whatever, and that creates a CO2 problem in the air, and the temperature is increasing and the water level will rise. But do we have a problem with that? Let's go back a little. I mean, is it really a problem? And I have to be honest, I don't think so. It's a created problem, and it's not a real problem. And I'll explain in a moment why. Okay, the CO2 level is rising on the Earth. In the first place, because of the industry, that's right. Second, because of there are, for example, in China there are coal mines on fire, and nobody's able to stop that burning. There's not enough water to stop that burning, and it's going on for ages already. Those coal mine fires, and they cannot stop it burning. So that's a lot of CO2. Then you got volcanoes and so on, so on. So there is a lot of CO2 produced in the atmosphere. Well, but is it a problem? Well, I don't think so, because one of the things that was, according to the Bible, and we have the scientific evidence from, I'm going to show you a piece of a movie. It's from Kent Hovind, and he showed some evidences that the whole atmospheric condition from the creation on, the biblical creation on, was a lot different and had a lot of different atmosphere. That created some features in nature that are very good actually for the life on Earth. And I'm going to show you, I will mix in that movie, a little piece of movie. I'm not going to show you the whole movie. You can watch it on internet, drdino.com. There you can watch those movies for free. And it's the part of the Garden of Eden movie. But he shows some scientific proof, some scientific facts that the atmosphere was a lot different in the beginning of creation. When God created the earth, the whole atmospheric condition was different, so that people could live longer, and there was a lot more plants. So, well, plants have one common feature, and that is that they absorb CO2 and produce oxygen. Well, they have also found that the atmospheric conditions were different in those days. Apparently the pressure was higher than today. What caused that? The real facts we don't know. We have suggestions and a theory why the atmospheric conditions were different and with a higher pressure. There are scientific evidences that it was. It's all shown in that little piece of movie. I'm going to show you. I will mix it in with my thing what I'm doing here. So, but before we do that, I'm pointing. I have put something on the board which I like to discuss. If we to discuss whether we have a real CO2 problem in this world. Okay, and discuss it point by point. Okay. Well, in that movie you will see that the atmosphere was different. There was a higher a pressurized atmospheric condition. Yeah. They found in amber, and that's on the movie, that the pressure was higher, at least twice as high, but also this, the oxygen level was at least 1.5 times higher. Instead of 21%, it was about around 30-35%. Yeah. Well, there was in those days there was a hyperbaric conditions, hyperbaric in oxygen, but also hyperbaric maybe in CO2. Yeah. Well, they say, well, the higher CO2 level will cause some extra problems in warming up the Earth, and they say they have scientific evidence for it. Well, so what? I mean, okay, the temperature may rise, but does that cause the ice caps to melt? And if so, does it create a problem? Yeah. Well, okay. If the CO2 level rises, does that cause problems? Well, if the CO2 level rises, maybe the Earth will warm up, and yes, maybe the water level may be rising a little bit. But does that cause a problem? I mean, plants are absorbing CO2. Yeah, to produce more plant mass, yeah, to biomass. Yeah. Well, there was a guy called Dr. Key Mori. He doesn't live anymore, but he did an investigation, and that is shown in that little movie. He grew a cherry tomato plant, and but under hyperbaric conditions and with filtered off sunlight, yeah, in which the UV, the harmful radiation was cut off. Yeah, that plant, that little cherry tomato plant, grew bigger. Yeah. So, and you're going to see that in a moment in that movie. But that teaches us something. It learns us that if you put more CO2 to the plants, that they grow bigger and faster. Yeah? If you block off UV irradiation, yeah, the plants are protected more. Yeah? That tells us something, that the conditions in which you grow plants, you can make it better for those plants to grow faster, bigger, and so on. Well, if it becomes warmer here on Earth, yeah, one of the possibilities is that the water level will rise. But one of the another aspect of plants is that in growing they also use water. Yeah, it is a scientific fact, and you can test it yourself, that plants exist about 75 to 90% of water. Yeah. That means that if you grow plants and you grow them under hyperbaric carbon dioxide conditions and oxygen conditions, that they will grow faster and that they absorb CO2 and water. So this creates a huge a profitable aspect for food. Yeah, you can increase your food production worldwide. Yeah? So that is taking away the water level problem. Because even if the temperature here on Earth will rise about 10 degrees Celsius, suppose, yeah, then not all the ice in the world will melt.